You graduate top of your class. You believe in every single thing the uniform stands for. They give you your first command, an infantry battalion. You follow orders because that's who you are. Then one order changes everything. Move your battalion 16 kilometers north. Hold for 72 hours. No reason given. 3 days later, you find out why. The village your battalion vacated was burned to the ground. 47 civilians. You file a formal complaint. Through proper channels, by the book. The complaint disappears in a week. Within a month, you get promoted. That promotion is the first lesson. The military you believed in exists on paper. The real one runs on relationships, debts, and who knows what about whom. The officers who advance aren't the most brilliant. They're the ones who know which rooms to enter and which conversations to remember. You're not cynical about this. You're practical. You watch, you adopt, you file everything away. You walk the same corridors as everyone else, but you're reading every room while they're just passing through. Every night, you file what you learned, a mental ledger of compromises, favors, and buried incidents. By 37, you're a brigadier general. The rank on your shoulder is real. The ledger in your head is your actual promotion. You haven't used it yet. You're just holding it. Then you get summoned, not to the Public Ministry of Defense, to an annex 3 blocks north that doesn't appear on any government directory. You've never been to a building that doesn't officially exist. 4 men in the room: the defense minister, the intelligence chief, an unnamed civilian whose suit costs more than your salary, and General Valak, the most decorated officer in the nation's history. Valak looks at you for a long time. Then he tells you he's dying. 3 months, maybe 4. The succession has already been decided above his head. The man they chose is loyal to the civilian whose name you were never given. Valak says he needs someone who understands the institution completely and won't surrender it to men like the one sitting at this table. You think about the village, the 47, 9 years of watching and holding a ledger no one knows about. You say yes. You are 40 years old when you become chief of the armed forces. The first thing you do is nothing. You sit still and watch the system react to your presence the way water finds its level. You let the officers beneath you make assumptions. Let the political figures take positions they think are safe. You let the unnamed civilian in his network feel comfortable. Comfortable people stop being careful. You've been building this map for 9 years. Now you finally have the access to complete it. The military moves approximately $4 billion annually. Within 60 days, you estimate over $1 billion of it is effectively unaccountable. It doesn't disappear, it routes through paper contractors, ghost suppliers, maintenance budgets for equipment that hasn't worked in years. Mapping the beneficiaries takes 4 months. When you're done, you understand something more important than the numbers. Almost everyone who matters is inside it. The defense minister, 3 oversight committee members, 2 private infrastructure companies, and Benedict Strauss, whose family holding company receives roughly $300 million a year. You don't move against any of them. You simply let them know, through intermediaries, that you know. The payments reroute. A portion now flows through channels you control. This is not theft. This is leverage, institutionalized. In your second year, a border skirmish kills 11 soldiers on each side. The president wants a punitive strike. His advisors want imagery for the evening news. You sit in that briefing room and listen to men who will not be anywhere near the province when the retaliation comes. A strike triggers escalation within 72 hours. Full mobilization collapses a counterinsurgency campaign you're 6 months from finishing. You tell the president no, but not in those words. You offer a forward deployment that looks aggressive and commits to nothing. The crisis de-escalates. 11 soldiers are still dead on each side. No one in that briefing room mentions them by name. You think about them late at night. You hold those numbers next to the 47. You try to construct a moral accounting that balances. You can't. You stopped trying in year 3. Men without illusions are harder to manipulate. In year 4, a young colonel submits a report documenting systematic abuse of conscript soldiers. The report is accurate. Your intelligence directorate flagged it before it reached you. The officer responsible is Major General Thomas Breck, brother-in-law of Benedict Strauss. You sit with this for 4 days. You remove Breck quietly. Forced retirement, full pension, framed as a health matter. The colonelist gets transferred to the capital with a commendation every senior officer will understand means he is untouchable. Strauss loses the position. The conscripts gain nothing visible. You gain the loyalty of everyone watching. Strauss calls within 48 hours. The conversation is brief, indirect, and contains a threat so coded that someone not fluent in this language would hear nothing alarming. By year 5, you've merged 3 intelligence directorates into a unified command that reports directly to you, bypassing the defense ministry entirely. Nothing you've done is technically illegal. Nothing you do exists in a legal framework precise enough to reach you. You now have the most complete picture of internal political threats of anyone in the country, including the president, who receives curated briefings from your directorate and has never questioned the curation. You don't fabricate intelligence, you select it. There is a difference. That difference is the line between what you are and what you will not become. The line has been tested 3 times. You've held it 3 times. You don't think about a 4th time. An election is 8 months away. The president is polling poorly. 3 members of his inner circle have separately approached your office about a contested election and a state of emergency. None of them said it directly. All of them said it clearly. You gave each of them the same answer. The military's position on constitutional order is fixed. Any extra-legal action would require a response no one in this building would enjoy. You mean it. But holding that position requires military cohesion, and 3 of your 17 generals are currently threatening it. 2 have received payments from sources connected to Strauss in the past 18 months. 1 has had 3 undisclosed meetings with the president's chief of staff. You know about them anyway. You're managing all 3 simultaneously. You haven't decided which one you turn, which you neutralize, and which you remove. You're running out of time. You are 45 years old. 5 years in command. You've prevented 2 wars, contained 3 crises, restructured the intelligence architecture of an entire state. You've also let a war criminal retire with a full pension, curated intelligence for a president who trusted you, built leverage over half the powerful men in the country. You hold all of it. You don't resolve it. Resolution is not available at this level. What's available is management, continuation, and the daily decision about which line you will and will not cross. You make that decision every morning. So far, you've made it the same way. You don't know how long that lasts. You don't know what changes it. You sit at your desk in the building that doesn't appear on any government directory. You open the morning brief, and you begin again.